the Earth home to 8 billion people. Including those who have never seen a car, never used a smartphone or the internet, it is also the refuge of unique tribes hidden in forests and isolated islands around the world. These tribes possess peculiar characteristics, strange practices, and a lifestyle that harks back to the Stone Age. Get ready for an incredible adventure as we reveal some of the most unusual tribes on the planet. The Kovai tribe. The Kovai tribe is a group that embraces nature and all that it offers while closing all doors to civilization and technology. In the past, the Kovai tribe also avoided contact with the outside world and practiced cannibalism against those they considered enemies. However, this practice has decreased in recent years as the tribe has begun to open up to contact. The Kovai were discovered only 35 years ago when the missionary Johannes Feldheisen had an accidental encounter with them. Since then, he has tried to find a way to explore more about the tribe using a local guide from a neighboring tribe. In the past, the Kovai tribe frequently clashed with visitors, resulting in headhunting or cannibalism. However, in recent years, they have become better known for their tree houses built in banyan trees. The houses are raised at a height of 10 to 15 meters from the ground and can reach an astonishing 45 meters high in a tall tree. Don't be surprised. All that is needed to build these houses are tree branches, bark, and rattan ropes for fastening without hammers, screws, or nails. As impressive as these houses are, the construction takes about 30 days and is carried out by the men. Although they may seem scary, the houses are safe as they are built on a tree and have a wooden barrier to prevent small children from falling, as well as a long suspended ladder for climbing. Another curious practice of this tribe is that they count the days based on their houses. A tree house should last from 3 to 5 years before they build a new one. Besides providing shelter, the houses offer other benefits. They are protected from insects and wild animals. Additionally, they feel much safer than in the past when enemies could come and kidnap their children and wives. The Moken tribe. The Moken tribe, also known as Sea Gypsies, is described as such for a good reason. The Moken have lived in the waters of the Mergui archipelago for hundreds, if not thousands of years, spending their entire lives aboard their boats, called kabang. They only go to the mainland to shelter in temporary camps during monsoon season. From birth to death, the Moken remain at sea. According to Moken legend, this way of life is a punishment imposed on their people by an ancient queen as a punishment for her husband's adultery. However, it is evident to those who have met and studied the Moken that they do not see their nomadic life as a punishment. Being at sea for so long, they have intimate knowledge of the waters and live entirely from fishing and gathering food along the shores. The Moken fish by free diving without any diving equipment, which has given them an incredible ability to hold their breath and underwater vision. Extraordinarily sharp. After collecting food from the sea floor and the waters, they use it to trade for rice and gasoline with merchants on the mainland, which represents almost all the contact they have with the outside world. Moken society is composed of extended family groups, each of which lives and travels together in a flotilla, having a family chief. The families practice ancestor worship, mediated by a shamanic figure, and hold festivals and rituals to appease the spiritual world through offerings, trances, and dances. They have a strong belief in an invisible spirit that protects and guides them on their life journey, although they are a tribe that does not trust in strength or the Arrow spirits. The Arrow Mudmen tribe. The Arrow Mudmen, also known as Men of Mud, emerge from the jungle in a manner that resembles a slow and rising tide. Their dramatic movements leave you confused, and their bodies covered in gray mud, completed with frightening and exaggerated masks, are shocking and intimidating. Before you know it, a chill runs down your spine, and you wish you had never entered the jungle. They are the Arrow Mudmen, who were once one of the poorest peoples of Papua New Guinea and are now true rock stars of the region. While most of the more than 100 tribes on the island are as colorful as the exotic birds they share the jungle with, the Mudmen are the least adorned. They walk covered in white mud from head to toe, maintaining a single line, moving slowly as if they were glaciers, always looking to the sides, ready for anything. Some carry arrows ready in their bows, while others wield spears and clubs. Some wear bamboo painted red on their fingers, extended several centimeters and sharp as giant claws. They move silently, so they could easily be mistaken for ghosts. Many people have gone to war covered in mud, but in the case of the Arrow Mudmen, they use the mud to avoid war. Their reputation as warriors has always been exaggerated, and although literature and legends attribute special martial powers to them, their only real advantage in battle is their fierce and frightening appearance. The Arrow Mudmen believe that if you can instill fear, you won't need to go to war. North Sentinel Island. The Sentinelese tribe was little known until the death of an American tourist who illegally visited the isolated North Sentinel Island, drawing the world's attention to this tribe. They are known for being one of the few uncontacted tribes in the world, partly due to geography. North Sentinel Island is a small island off major shipping routes, surrounded by a shallow reef and lacking natural ports. The protective laws enforced by the Indian government also make contact difficult, and the Sentinelese's fierce defense of their territory and privacy makes it an impossible mission. However, they are not completely isolated. Over the past 200 years, outsiders have visited the island several times, and many of these visits have ended poorly for both sides. We cannot be sure of their population size, but based on anthropologists' estimates of how many people the island could support, there are likely between 80 and 150 people on North Sentinel Island, although the number could be as high as 500 or as low as 15. The Sentinelese are related to other indigenous groups from the Andaman Islands, a chain of islands in the Bay of Bengal in India. But they have been isolated for so long that they differ from other inhabitants of the Andaman Islands. They live their lives weaving baskets and using wooden axes with iron tips to cut and shape wood. In the mid-1990s, there were descriptions of campfires on the beach at night and sounds of people singing. But so far, nothing of the Sentinelese language is known to outsiders. The Himba tribe. The Himba tribe is an ethnic group with an estimated population of about 50,000 people living in northern Namibia, in the Kaukoland region, and across the Cunene River in southern Angola. You may have seen one or two photos of people from this tribe, renowned for their unique adornments and their continued adherence to traditions. Their women walk with their breasts exposed and are richly decorated with symbolic jewelry. They are primarily known for covering their bodies with a mixture of animal fat and ochre, which gives their skin and hair a reddish hue. Traditionally, the Himba live in wooden huts that form a circle around a sacred ancestral fire, and their daily activities revolve around the raising and care of cattle. For a long time, they avoided contact with the modern world, continuing their peaceful lives as cattle herders in the arid northwest region of Namibia. They had no contact with the outside world until the 20th century after the first European expeditions in the remote area. The Himba are polygamous, with it being common for a man to have two wives at the same time. Their marriage system is different from what one might expect, as young Himba girls are married to male partners chosen by their parents from the onset of puberty. Before marriage can occur, there must be cattle transactions, which are the foundation of the Himba economy. In other words, without cattle, there is no marriage. The Sami tribe. The Sami tribe can be found in 4 countries: Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. Unlike other tribes with hundreds of people, the Sami tribe has a total population of approximately 880,000 people across these 4 countries, about half of whom live in Norway. Among those living in Norway, around 2,600 are engaged in reindeer herding, while much of northern Norway is used for raising these animals. Traditionally, the Sami sustained themselves through fishing, subsistence, agriculture, and hunting along the coast and in the large rivers inland. Nowadays, a significant portion of the Sami people live outside traditional Sami areas and have moved to cities in northern Norway or to the Oslo region. Nonetheless, many still reside in traditional Sami settlements, but earn a living in the modern service sector, industry, tourism, and public service. The Sami culture has many unique forms of expression, including the joik, one of the oldest musical traditions in Europe. A joik is dedicated to a person, animal, or place, and the harmonies replicate the qualities of the object of the song. Another important element is the gakti, the traditional clothing that continues to be worn during celebrations and festivals. In addition, the Sami diligently maintain their artisanal traditions, such as tin embroidery, beadwork, weaving laces, sewing jackets, wood carving, and knife making. Despite embracing modern civilization, the Sami do not abandon their traditions for anything, which makes them distinct wherever they are. The Karubo tribe. The Karubo is the last unknown tribe to be contacted in the Amazon, having made first contact in 1996. They are locally known in Brazil as the Catraman, which literally means clubbers in Portuguese, and were later known in the popular press as head breakers. This is due to their carrying war clubs that they use to fight in battles. Unfortunately, 7 members of Funai were killed by club strikes from members of the tribe. Surprisingly, Funai did not seek to capture or punish the individuals involved, claiming that these Amazonian indigenous people did not know Brazilian laws and therefore could not be prosecuted. Although they have strange names, the Karubo speak a language from the Pano linguistic family that is closely related to the northern Pano dialects spoken by the Matis and Mayaruna tribes. However, unlike other tribes living in the Javari River Valley, they can be easily identified by their characteristic hairstyle, which is shorter at the back and longer at the front. The Karubo are a mystery, and much of what we know about them comes from contact with a small group living near the Funai post in the Javari River Valley. The Maasai tribe. The Maasai are a Neolithic tribe from the East African countries of Kenya and Tanzania. Their culture is centered on the belief that God created cattle especially for them, and that they are the guardians of all the cattle in the world. For the Maasai, life revolves around accumulating and herding large herds of cows, which are not only their primary source of income, but also play an important role in communal life. Families and clans establish alliances through the exchange of cattle, and consuming the meat and milk from the cows is considered a sacred act that connects them to their creator. For hundreds of years, the Maasai have moved and herded their livestock along the Rift Valley without harming the land or local wildlife. They did this primarily by migrating seasonally across vast areas of territory, allowing the land ample time to recover before returning to graze. Since their traditional diet primarily depends on the milk, blood, and meat from their cattle, the hunting of wild animals by the tribe was limited and not disruptive to the overall ecosystem. Decades ago, the best way for young Maasai to prove themselves as warriors was through the ritual of killing a lion, which could be done alone or in a group using only iron spears as weapons. Typically, only male lions were hunted in this initiation rite, as lionesses were considered sacred and the mothers of life. Although lion hunting is now prohibited in East Africa, the Maasai still kill lions if their lives are in danger. The Apatani tribe. The Apatani are a tribal group of about 60 people living in the Zero Valley in the lower Subansiri district of Arunachal Pradesh in India. The women of the tribe wear plugs in their noses, which somewhat disfigures them. leading one to question why they opted for this. It all began many years ago, when the exceptionally beautiful women of the tribe were captured by men from neighboring tribes. As a result, the Apatani women began inserting nasal plugs and also created facial markings to make themselves less attractive to invaders. Dark incisions were made on the faces of women, usually at the onset of their first menstrual cycle. Perhaps this practice started as a preventive measure to protect women from being abducted, but it ultimately became a vital part of their culture and tradition. This ancient tradition was observed until the 1970s, when the government imposed a ban on the incisions for nasal plugs. Currently, only the last generation of older women from Apatani villages displays these facial emblems, serving as a reminder of a cultural practice that now belongs to the past. The Broca tribe. The Broca can be found in the Aran Valley, known for harboring people who, according to legend, are descendants of the armies of Alexander the Great. Legend has it that the Broca people are the remnants of the lost army of Alexander that was left behind during the conquest of the Indus Valley. In fact, this Aryan distinction has long been idealized due to the rare and clear isolation of the Broca people. But it is not supported by genetic evidence. Nonetheless, this isolated culture prides itself on its myths and its uniqueness. Over the years, travelers have been drawn to this unusual valley, fueling stories of their origins and even their Aryan preferences. Although their origins are debated, they do not take lightly their purity, preferring to marry within their own tribe. One cannot blame them, as marrying outside the group could mean the discontinuation of their distinct physical appearance. There are also several claims of polygamy, another cultural practice peculiar to the tribe. The tribe also has dietary restrictions that include eggs and dairy products, such as milk and butter. Although the reason is unknown, we can agree that the Broca tribe is very unusual. And here we reach the end of our list. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know in the comments which tribe you found to be the most different. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.